Hey everybody, Dr. Wenzel, Brentwood MD. Welcome to video 3 of a 3-part series on health multipliers for men. In the first video training, we talked about the value of strength training in the masculine journey. In the last video, we talked about the critical importance of testosterone replacement therapy in your health journey as a man, individually being profoundly impactful, focus on one thing, get many benefits. We call that a nonlinear relationship. They each have a nonlinear relationship as it pertains to your health, but when you overlay them, we also get the ideal environment for an optimal infrastructure, the foundation, the core of your physical body. When these two are done correctly, you create a beautiful environment for an optimal infrastructure. In this video, we're going to talk about intermittent fasting. Again, anybody who's paid attention to me for more than 1 or 2 videos knows that intermittent fasting is one of my favorite topics to talk about, for no other reason other than I cannot believe how impactful it is. And the deeper you go with this, the more you see how not only elegant it is as a solution, the reasons why, for all of documented human history prior to mass agriculture in the late 1800s, we had been conditioned and adapted to environments where we typically went long periods of time without eating, a fasted state. And during that period of fasting, we were challenged to do one of 2 types of activities: a slow, low impact, long type of physical activity, like walking from one village to the next to make a trade or commerce or whatever it was, followed by, or working in the fields, just a low grind, but we could do it for a long time, or fight or hunt, which is a high impact activity. But the majority of the time when we were active, we were in a fasted state. Only if we were successful at tilling the soil, or getting to the village and making the trade, or hunting and getting what we were hunting and fighting off the thing hunting us, did we get to enjoy the feast, to be fed. And what we never did as humans is, once we're fed, go back out and work. Food is a trigger for a feast. It is and anybody who's eaten lunch knows those first couple hours after lunch are hard. You're sleepy, you're lethargic. You wander, you lose your focus, but leading up to lunch, you're there. Fasting has an impact on performance primarily through simplicity. It simplifies one of the behaviors every single human has to do every single day that they are alive on this planet, and that is consume resources as nutrition. And what we end up having in current 2021 environment is decision fatigue, overwhelm. We are jockeying. There are thousands of things jockeying for your attention every day. And we have to constantly be evaluating what's important and what's not, and what's important and what's not. And one thing I know for sure, this technique to nutrition, the HOPE technique, does not work. It does not work. We have proven that over and over again by decade after decade of worsening overall metabolic health numbers. But when you simplify the decision-making process, you can increase performance, because complexity is the enemy of execution. And having a simplified strategy for how and when you consume food is critical to high performers. Number 2, mindset. Again, a fasted brain, you think sharper, you think more clear, you're more assertive, you're more decisive, you just have more energy behind your thinking. Once you're in a fed state, that edge is lost. Metabolic disease. Fasting impact on metabolic disease, I could not be more excited about, and primarily it is because we put tremendous metabolic stress on our physiology, specifically on insulin resistance. It is the most powerful tool I know of to combat insulin resistance, which is the gateway physiology to all metabolic disease. It is, of all of the three things that you could focus on, if you had to choose one, fasting is the one. All of these, I believe, are the most important things that you could do. But if you had to do just one, fasting is the thing. But the magic happens when you overlay these, as we've already discussed between strength training and testosterone replacement therapy. When you have fasting and testosterone replacement therapy, an optimal testosterone environment, and you're fasted, you create this optimal neurohormonal environment. In other words, when you do certain things or create certain triggers, like working out, you're doing the destruction side of things, but you have to assume that everything downstream is going to happen. And if your neurohormonal environment is not optimized, you will get a suboptimal response to the stimulus. Having an optimal neurohormonal environment ensures that the physiology that you have been designed with is optimized, and the triggers will get the desired response, which is ideal. When you overlay fasting with strength training, this is where things go to the next level for me, because in a fasted state, if you can take your fasting into a workout, yes, you will underperform in the micro. In other words, I wouldn't recommend going for a personal best on a day that you're fasted. But the goal for 99.9% of people who lift weights is not to break personal records every time you work out. The reason you want to work out is for other reasons, like just being strong and optimal, resisting metabolic stress, all of the things that we've already talked about. But when you go into a workout fasted, you're coming in with tremendous metabolic stress. Your skeletal muscle cells are really fighting against the insulin resistance, becoming ready for that next time you eat. They're hyperinsulin sensitive, and then you force your skeletal muscles to train. My dear friend and the director of performance and longevity here at Brentwood MD, Zane Griggs, used this phrase, and I loved it. And I don't know if you can see it, but it says optimal mechanical and metabolic stress. Fasted workouts create a remarkable amount of metabolic stress, which is from the fasting, with the mechanical stress from the training. And that combination is a multiplier of the effort. So I hope you can see, by focusing on three things: a strength training regimen, intermittent fasted lifestyle, just a fasting lifestyle, whatever that means for you, make it work for you. Everybody has their own rhythm and cadence. Find one that works for you. And testosterone replacement therapy. There are no such things as silver bullets, but in my experience, this is the closest thing to a silver bullet for men, especially men over 40, to have dramatic impact in their overall life experience and health journey. You want to be right here. By focusing on those three things, you will see dramatic shift in all of the most important things in your life. And I cannot wait to hear about it. I hope this is helpful to you. Please take it, use it, be inspired, be encouraged. You can do this. It is not hard, and it is the best place to focus your energy for a health strategy. Until we meet again, I hope everyone stays well. Bye.